In today's day and age, people like to tell each other to be themselves and not to care what others think. When we don't care what others think, we're creating a kind of internal conflict because human beings at their core are social creatures. It's part of our survival, it's ingrained in our DNA that we should get along with other human beings in order to thrive and survive. If you woke up one morning and everyone thought you were ugly, and everyone thought your accent was horrible, and the way you dressed was awful, and everything about you was just not nice, not very pleasant, you would feel depressed. We really care, at our core, what others think, and without high levels of meditation, there's nothing you can really do about that. And you might say, yes, but I can reduce that by retaining a certain mindset. But there's such a strong desire to care for what others think that really you'd only be fighting yourself. And also, even if you do stop caring what others think and you express yourself in a way that feels comfortable to you, if the way that feels comfortable to you is making others feel uncomfortable, then isn't there a kind of narcissism in this? I would say it's wiser and more skillful to live trying to some degree to make yourself pleasant for others, to make yourself in such a way that others want to be around you, partly so that you can then help people, because you cannot do anything for someone if they shut you out socially. But then if your efforts fail and someone doesn't like the way you are in some sense, just don't get hung up on it. It is possible both to try to make others like you and at the same time to not be hung up on the results. It is a part of living life, as we often try to say, intensely but not seriously. A bit like when you play a video game. You can play a game and really try your best to win, but then when you lose, you remind yourself it's only a game. We can do the same in real life. It often doesn't feel like we can because we condition ourselves that every time something fails, we must become furious about it in order to do it better the next time. But you can do the same thing with an intensity without the seriousness, just as you would playing a video game. As for just being yourself, if you peel back the outer layer of any human being, even the most well put together, on the surface seemingly perfect human beings, then you're going to find a big mess underneath that layer. So if you are in a way honest to yourself and just being as you really are on the inside, you're going to cause havoc. I mean, how many different emotions and thoughts come up every day that we can't control? If we were to just follow all of them, we'd be wreaking havoc on the entire world. It's important that we don't use this phrase, just be yourself, as an opportunity to give ourselves the excuse of doing whatever we like, to give ourselves that free ticket. Now, it's true that going out and duplicating someone else's personality is not going to get you very far either. The act of sailing is a good analogy for how to operate oneself. You see, if you sail however you want, in other words, just being yourself, and you furl the sails whenever you feel like it, you turn the rudder whichever way you like, and you spin the wheel left and right at your own whim, you're going to crash. If you try and mimic precisely what the boat in front of you is doing, you're also going to crash, even if it's a successfully sailing boat, because the water where that boat is will be different to the water when you are, and the skills of that sailor will be different to your own skills. But this doesn't mean we should just let go and let the universe pull us and act however we feel instinctively. Because if we just let the water pull the boat along, it's again going to slam you straight into the rocks. Rather, the only way to sail a boat effectively and efficiently is to read the water, but then adjust the boat as you see fit by analyzing the water as it comes. So you live your life and you just be, without being yourself, but you just be something much more basic and fundamental than that. And then when a situation comes, you read that situation for what it is and you adjust your own personality accordingly in order to sail those waters skillfully. Now, it is easier to use your own qualities that are inherent to you and easier for you to access as a foundation from which to then adjust according to the waters than it is to use someone else as a foundation. So there is an element of being yourself that's usable, which is looking at the qualities that come natural to you, using that as your foundation, and then steering that based on what's happening around you. But that's not really the same as just being yourself, which seems to insinuate regardless what happens, you adamantly stick to being whatever this is. Just being yourself and copying others, both of these two acts are trying to retain a solid image of something, and if you keep hold of that solid image and you're moving through a world which is shifting and changing, that image will get chipped and scuffed and will crash left, right and center. So my advice would be, use yourself as a foundation to begin with, adjust that sense of self as things come, and do try to make yourself in such a way that others want to be around you. But then if some people still don't want to be around you, it's okay. I hope you find that helpful. Thank you and namaste.
Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme Hum.